13 years ago today, Lionel Messi scored arguably his greatest ever goal against Getafe in the 2007 Copa del Rey semi-final. Just 19 years old then, the Argentine magician picked up the ball in his own half and took on the entire visiting team. 10 years down the line, April 18, 2017, Portuguese superstar Cristiano Ronaldo becomes first player to score 100 goals in the Champions League with a hat-trick in Real Madrid's 4-2 win over Bayern Munich. Good morning, sports fans and news enthusiasts. Welcome to Now Streaming, your go-to source for the latest updates in the world of news headlines and sports. I am Chukwebuka Ike. We have an exciting lineup for you today, packed with thrilling sports highlights and breaking news stories. And here to bring you all the excitement from the world of sports and latest headline news updates. Today is with me, Mr. Godwin Ujiri.
Good morning, Ebuka. It's morning. Nice being in the studio with you today.
Good morning. You look astonished.
Thank you so much.
All right. Also, viewers joining us virtually is Comrade Abraham Soko, who is a social and sports analyst. So get ready for a well-packed show with thrilling moments and important headlines. Mr. Soko, good morning. I'm good. How are you? And how is Delta State this morning?
I'm doing very well. Delta State is fine.
All right.
I am what Jesus says I am. I'm the head, not the tail. I'm a success, not a failure. I am born to win. I'm a king. Oh, na 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 na. There's a light in the beauty. Hey, I am not what you say I am. I am what Jesus says I am. I am not who you think I am. I am born to win. I'm a king. Oh na na na. Hey. I am not what you say I am. I am not who you think I am. I am what Jesus says I am. I'm the head.
It's still goalless, and we are 9 minutes into the game. Still goalless. Chelsea 0, Konak 0. That was a good cross. Oh no, interrupted by the Chelsea FC.
Beautiful. Beauty from Chelsea FC.
Beautiful cross, come on! Go!
Oh, it's
what
a beautiful goal. It's a wonderful goal from Chelsea FC. Beautiful.
That was a good conversion from Chelsea FC. Beautiful cross, come on! Go! That's a beautiful
free kick. Let's see what the corner will do with this ball. And that is a goal. That is a goal. I tell you.
What a wonderful fallback. 16 minutes into the game.
All right, so 16 minutes into the game, we have the first goal from. Okay, that's another attack. Oh, that's a beautiful attack. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right.
Let's see what will happen. Let's see what will.
Come on!
And the goalkeeper disagreed.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And I see these young stars, the Okocha of those days, coming back in this particular team. I don't love this particular player. I don't just know.
That's
John with the number 10.
Oh, beautiful!
That is another goal.
Unexpected!
That's a beautiful goal.
Unexpected!
That's a beautiful.
I said
That's a
unexpected!
beautiful goal.
Ladies
So
and
very
gentlemen!
unexpected.
And
From
that was
Konak
so-
FC.
With the number.
Eze David.
They want to celebrate it with their coach,
Eze David.
David Johanna.
And that was a very wonderful, unexpected goal from Ezia David. I think that Bayern Munich will need this kind of player. You know, yes. I think this young man needs to go to England. Taken away.
All right, still in possession is Michael. Jersey number 7 for Konak FC. Oh,
That's
it's
an
a
own goal.
beautiful goal.
An own goal
It's a
from
beautiful own goal.
Chelsea.
All right, still in possession is Michael.
That's an own goal.
Jersey number 7 for Konak FC.
What
It's an
a
own goal.
pressure.
It's a goal.
That's
It's
an
a
own goal.
beautiful goal. That's
An own-
Konak FC.
Mounted the pressure that gave them an own goal. TBK Kabbalah mounted the pressure that gave them an own goal. and that's 3.
That outcome. Still in possession. Still in possession. Still in possession. Still in possession. Beautiful. Beautiful. That was an exceptional goal. That was an exceptional goal. That was an exceptional goal. Still in possession. Very beautiful goal. Now we have the scoreline. Connacht FC 4, Chefs CFC 1.
You know, I am so excited and I am not really.
What would you do? Winning, ruling.
The Connacht are preparing to make a change to see how.
Nice
they
press,
make
and the number 10 man goes again, Mike. And now he
told you about
scores!
this
Utilize
number
it now!
I told you. He's about to do
The
it
number
again.
10 man
This evening, he's
wearing
about to do
Messi's
it again.
jersey
He had the
number
second goal in
and
this
playing
match.
like Ronaldo.
And the match
His
is
5 letters, JGYIC. 5 letters, 5-1.
You can see, you can.
Felix is a very good.
Beautiful.
And that was
that's the
end
final
of
whistle.
this
That was
game.
the
That's the
end of
final
the
whistle
match.
from the central referee. Celestin
It's
Uzoma.
beautiful play.
All right, your time this evening for staying still and watching this match. Want to appreciate the team and from all of us here. We say thank you and God bless you.
Joshua generation! If you're happy about what is going on here, shout it! Joshua generation!
Praise the Lord.
Who are you to tell me who I am a project in the hands of the Lord. Who are you?
Welcome back, viewers. You agree with me, April is usually one of the best months of the football calendar as clubs enter a crucial point of the season. The Champions League reaches its quarter-final stage and countries play the semi-finals of their domestic competitions, and the FA Cup returns to Wembley Stadium. However, of course, this year is not completely different. There are traces of football across the world and many actions have happened within the early days of April already. And we can as well reminisce and look back on some of the classic moments we have seen over the years. In addition, we just watched the football, the JGIYC football team, Connacht, played a friendly match last week. And the video which we just watched was a highlight of the match. Alright, so still with me in the studio is Mr. Godwin Ujiri. He's my co-anchor for this morning.
Thank you so much, Ebuka.
All right, and also joining us, also live with us from Delta State is Comrade Abraham Soko, a social and sports analyst. Comrade. All right, so we will start with the review of the match, but before then, let me take you through the front page of the Punch Sports newspaper. All right, so the Punch Sports newspaper has its headline as lead story as it says, "Who goes through? 6 Nigerian stars vying for spot in the Europa Conference League semis." All right, so the picture is there. We have the picture of Boniface and the other listed players. All right, so above that we have Rudiger fires record champions to semis. All right, so it says, why Arsenal prefer Victor to Victor. Okay, that's on page 6. And then page 4 has the story on Salah told to leave Liverpool. Find out who told Salah to leave Liverpool and why. Alright, so Juvie wants Ndidi. That story is on page 6. Also on page 7 says Nwabali sets for cheaper exits. Yeah, I think he's ready now to exit the South African Premier League team. Alright, so we also have other top stories, and it says 1,500 athletes to participate in 13 sports as 19 no-gig holds in Abuja. Econ donates Eagles allowance to Akwa Ibom kids. And under 17 Wafu, Gaba invites 51 players as Eaglets camp opens. And Super Eagles coaching job, NFF to decide on Amunike and 3 foreigners. And we have a story on boxing. It says successful title defense trees at Jagba. And then Aruna returns to top 20 in latest ITTF ranking. And transfer. And then we'll talk about the transfer gist. We have the case of Wambali on radar of St. Gilios QPR and Kiza Chiefs. And we also have the story of PSG yet to take Osimhen decision that's coming from the international transfer agent Romano. Then transfer just Juve interested in Dele, just like we said, and then why Arsenal prefers Victor Osimhen, and then Osimhen's win for sparks Napoli's shake-up plans. So top of the notch is our own Joshua Generation International Youth Conference friendly match, and then we'll come back to review the Champions League matches. So Mr. Godwin, you watched the match, and I bet you were there live, and so you saw the boys performed. Although there are some side comments, but I want to hear your own comment about those boys and their performance.
Thank you so much. Without really looking at all of those side comments, I want to say it's a victory for the Church of Nigeria. It's a victory for our primates, because that match was everything. The team, Konak FC, have been playing on the side for long. I think that was what we'll call the key match for them, having them back at what I would call their birthplace. To yes, that is when I say the birthplace, the JGI and YC platform, to showcase what was bettered from that place.
Yeah.
And they have a huge spectator watching, over 27,000 spectators or crowd watching them. And when that match started, one thing that keep resonating in me, I said, these boys cannot lose this match. Sincerely, they just cannot lose this match.
It looks like a final of an international competition to you.
That is just it. They just cannot lose this match. And when the match started, and then we have the first goal coming in from Chelsea FC, I was indeed very heartbroken. But I think if I would want to put it this way, Konak FC needed that first goal to charge them
Exactly.
up. And I think they have actually worked, the technical team have worked on their psyche, knowing that you cannot lose this match. The primate and all of his entourage are watching the match. If not for anything, you need to showcase it. And then they went back, put their house in order, put their attack in order, and they began to launch, and then they
ended up spelling JGIYC. All right. So I want to let you know that I don't really know the statistics, but we weren't up to 27,000.
Oh, really?
All right. So and then also state that the Konak FC were they fully dominated the entire match.
Yes, start to finish.
Yeah, from the start to the finish. It's just a slip, a little mistake that resulted to the one goal that they received, and the early goal, and which, like you said, psyched them up, and they came back very good to make sure they don't pull us out of where we think they are. All right, so Mr. Suko, I don't know, did you watch that match? Were you following up with the match, or have you watched the highlights? What do you have to say about our own Konak FC?
Yeah, I watched the highlights. I must say that I am very, very impressed at the level showcased. At the point, it was I think this team has to really go next year if it's to probably register them in our Nigeria professional league to be a good one. Also, I want to commend the Anglican Communion for this. I was made to understand that this friendly match is is an offshoot of the Joshua International Youth Conference. And the reason, one of the purposes of this youth conference is for the youth in the country to be able to find their purpose and find their goals. And with this kind of match, obviously, some of the youths can really have that passion for football, and from there, they can grow and grow internationally and globally. So it is a very, very good one coming from the African community too, and it's really, really commend them. Thank you, Mr. Ebu.
All right, so please, Mr. Abraham, I would like you to watch out for more of the actions from Konak FC, as they have fully integrated into the state league of the FCT and third division. They will soon start featuring at the national league, but that's with time. But Godwin, do you think these boys are ready for the national league?
I think they are, because from inception, what we saw was spectacular. And one thing with all of these football league is that when they are starting, you would notice some shaky movement, if I may use that word. But with time, so many players will begin to integrate. Those that started it will begin to understand themselves better, and they will become a very formidable opponent to whosoever club or team they will be meeting. And I want to say big kudos to the technical team. This Konak FC have gone beyond just group of boys gathering to play ball. No, if you notice from where they were sourced from, it is what every other club might not even have that leverage of, because we're talking of the Church of Nigeria sourcing.
And then that's another question I want to ask: is a team, just for our viewers, is it strictly Anglicans or is it a mixture of Anglicans? And what do you think is their age range compared to that of the normal age or the other national league players' ages?
All right, thank you so much. If the team is strictly Anglican, for now, I would want to say, because it's an offshoot of the JGIYC, yes. But when we go more professional, you discover that
there might be a mixture of both Anglican and non-Anglicans.
But one thing that would never change is the words the primate give them. Their focus should primarily be on God, because that is the foundation of it all.
Exactly.
Yes, even while we look forward to having more stronger hands, more players joining them at the professional level, but the mission mandate of Konak FC cannot change. Now, talking about the age grade, I believe you saw the team, you saw Chef CFC, and all of them, been looking at them physically, falls within the age bracket to play, apart from that very young and brilliant player who happens to be the youngest on the team. But that is expected of every good team.
Yeah, with the appearance of the young lad, I think he's not in the wrong place.
Not at all.
If you look at the English Premier League and most of the international leagues ongoing, you see players as young as 17, 18 featuring in matches. I can testify of Liverpool, where we have Danis. Danis is about 18 years thereabout, and he plays and he does very well. And other young lads that have
Arsenal,
exactly, yeah. So I want us to talk about Victor Osimhen.
Okay.
Victor Osimhen is there's a rumor ongoing that PSG and some other top clubs are vying for Victor Osimhen. And Romano came out and said that there hadn't been any such. And recently, I think in December or January thereabout, Napoli renewed Osimhen's contracts with leaving him with about 1.5 million pounds monthly, and a whole lot of other things within the clause. So what do you think of this whole saga ongoing? Do you think there's actually an on-the-ground action happening, or it's just painting the whole story?
All right, definitely it is expected. Why I use that word is because Osimhen is like the key star for Napoli. Yes. And then from the very point where it seems as though Napoli wanted to let go of him, so many agents came to begin to source for better clubs, or do I say clubs within the English side that would fit his likes. I think that it was there that Napoli saw that what they were having, despite the fact that he helped them to win a title,
a title for
yes,
after so long.
Share you get after so long. I wouldn't say they don't value what they have. They did. They throw it open, maybe just to see if this star player for us would be like the rush in the market, and after that they up their game, the market value and the rest. That in a way brought a whole lot of attention to the club like Napoli, share you get, and then they're still retaining to Sime. They have where they are going. The coach and all the technical advisors are actually very technical in this thing. If you discover, you just looking for, you might even see that it is not Osimhen that they may end up giving out. But they have attracted a whole lot of attention
to
Osimhen and also to the club. You get bidding for different prices and then opting their prices as against what was originally offered for him. So it's a good one for Osimhen.
All right, comrade, up to you, sir. And just to add to, you might want to touch a little bit on Osimhen's market and transfer news saga. I want you also make reference to Super Eagles captain donating his allowances to acquire bomb kits. This is like a philanthropic action that we spot from within players, and we can recall from years back. We see the acts from Nwankwo when he was in action. Sure. We see the acts from Obafemi Martins. Lastly we saw the acts from Osimhen giving about 2 million naira or thereabout to one little kid who was imitating him. And now we see the current captain of the Super Eagles giving out all his allowances, current allowances and upfront allowances to acquire bomb kids. What do you have to say about it, sir?
Okay, let me start with the Just Ekong philanthropic gesture. I would say it's a very, very good one. I'm always of the opinion that to whom much is given, much is expected. Exactly. In their own right, these footballers, they are already international, and they are already to a large extent wealthy. So when you are wealthy, it's good for you to give back to society. So first off, I want to really applaud the Super Eagles captain for this grand gesture. It's also going to serve as a good example to the other stars in play. We need to understand that Nigeria is passing through a very, very difficult phase, and the people that cannot really afford things really need help at this particular point in time. So where will this help come from? It can come from our sports stars, can come from the people that are really doing well in society. So I must really applaud Mr. Trust Enko, and I want to encourage our other Super Eagles stars and people that are well off to really have philanthropy in the back of their minds in these difficult times in the country. Also, the Osimhen situation, I want to react to that briefly. I think Osimhen made a mistake signing that contract in January when he signed it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not just all about the money. If you look at the situation with Mbappe, PSG, he said he's not going to renew his contract. He said he's going to leave. Even the contract that Real Madrid is offering is way less than what he's currently receiving in PSG. But he said he has made up his mind that he's going to go to Real Madrid because probably he's not being valued as much as he wants. So if you compare that to the situation of Osimhen, it's almost the same thing. I don't think the Italian club values Osimhen. We also saw the whole situation with the TikTok and the reports of envy from the other from his club mates. So I think renewing that contract was a mistake because the club they started the clause of 130 million euros. So any club that is going for him has to come up with 230 million euros because that's his release clause. And this kind of money, as much as Osimhen is very valuable, it's going to discourage some top teams from coming to get him. So this is the situation. I feel that he did bad. He did not really. He did not really think it through in renewing his contract in January. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But before we go to the foreign stories, I still want to make reference to Super Eagles players who are on the radar of the transfers. We have Ndidi, and he say Juve is interested in Ndidi, and we also have Nwabali on the radar for transfer. So, Mr. Abraham Soko, are there any views that you want to express to us on this issue, sir?
Okay. I think Nwabali has done his time. He has paid his dues in cheaper United. So I will not begrudge him if he's willing to take the next step to Europe. So I think it's a good one for me. So he has to go to Europe and test his mantles. I must say that it's a very, very good keeper. We also his exploits in the just completed AFCON. So that's a good one. And as for Rudy, I think he should really go to Juventus because with all due respect to Leicester City, Juventus is a bigger club, and I think with their league position right now, they are going to be playing in the Champions League next season. So it's a good one if that deal should go through. So I'm really happy for it. Thank you, Mr. Ifa.
All right, Mr. Godwin. You know the story of Onana, the goalkeeper in Man U, Andre Onana. I think when he was in his previous club, he performed very well. That Manchester United saw him and opted out to transfer him to the English Premier League. But Onana came to Man U, and after a few matches, Man U fans are kicking against Onana. And I want to compare the case of Onana and Nwabali. Nwabali is performing very well now in South Africa. Do you think if he goes or if he comes to the European ground, do you think he can still maintain such verve and such tenacity?
Yes, I would agree completely with that. He would maintain such strength, such drives, and such tenacity. Now, going forward, before AFCON, he was, say, the second place goalkeeper for...
Yeah, he barely featured in matches.
Sure you get.
Exactly.
And he's this kind of person that when given an opportunity, he sees it as, I have all to prove. Yeah, despite the fact that we have our front goaler when it comes to AFCON, the coach trusted him. And whenever pressman goes to interview him, he doesn't say much. He just say all he has to do is to prove himself in the pitch of play. So he's that kind of person that wouldn't allow for whatever. I understand that he has come to prominence in the course of AFCON and the rest, but he has a whole lot of career. His career is so much ahead of him, so he wouldn't allow the tension of playing, say, in the Europa League or European clubs to deter him from giving his best. Is this person that comes out when you need him the most.
But you know the stage is not the same.
Definitely.
The stage in South Africa is not the same stage in Europe. There are more to it than the eyes can see.
Sure. I understand that. Every club that is coming for a particular player knows what they have seen. Definitely. Because if you are coming to get him, it is not to keep him in the bench. You know what you have seen. You know he can deliver for you. And I believe this is just, or if finally bought, it will just be like a start for him. Other clubs, if he performs exceptionally well, other clubs will come for him. But for a start, whether the stage, the fans are different, the atmosphere, or however we want to look at it, this is a key man. I want to believe Nwabali got all it takes to stand for that. He's that man that you can say, okay, he will deliver, and surely he will deliver for us.
All right, thank you. So, gentlemen, the Champions League. Second leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League matches were played out this week, and we saw records from Dortmund, from Barcelona, from Bayern, and from Man City. We all see a whole lot of things playing out because we after the first leg, matches like Arsenal, Bayern ended with a draw, and we had views and we have our own opinions. And match between Real Madrid and Man City also ended with a draw. But coming down now to the second leg of the matches, we see a whole lot of different things playing out. We saw the match between Dortmund and Atletico Madrid ending 4-2 in favor of Dortmund, and we saw the Barcelona losing against Paris Saint-Germain, 4-1, and then Bayern winning Arsenal with a lone goal, and Man City played a draw but lost to Real Madrid in penalties. So, what's your view of the matches played the second leg of the quarterfinal?
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Buka. For me, I would, like I said in previous episode or edition, I have always called it the Clash of the Titans.
Yes, that's why it's called the Champions.
The champions. Sure.
Rally.
And a whole lot happened. Unfortunately, those that are going happens to be more of the English side. You get so that for me that is a painful aspect of it. But when you look at the other side, say the German side and all others that are going through, it seems as though they were mentally prepared for this. Some of them are saying this is their first time. This will be their first time going or for a donkey number of years getting to the semi-final stage, and mentally they were prepared. If you ask me, compare to the English side, the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Man City have everything to protect, but do I say they weren't calculative enough, allowing the game to allowing aggregate, if I may use that word, to be a deciding factor for most of their game, but not aggregate per se, because it is what you put on the field of play that would in the later on determine if who would go or not. But if they were calculative enough, you would have known what you played in your previous game and know what is in for you in this present game. The club I would say even tried a bit was the likes of Man City that drags theirs into, say, an extra time and a penalty, allowing penalty to become the decider for them. You get, so that was a good match for the likes of Man City. For Arsenal, I would want to in a way blame their defense. For me, it wasn't solid enough. It wasn't solid enough. If you watch the game or if you follow through the highlight of the game, you discover that there were a whole lot of pulling from the Bayern half, right from the 18-yard box, trying your keeper right from the 18-yard box. They are not the type. Arsenal, everybody knows, is tiki-taka. They want to ensure that they pass through to your keeper and make a good delivery. But your keeper were being tried with a whole lot of shots, and it happens that a whole lot of missed chances do. Arsenal was up to their game, but I would say the end justifies the means. Aggregate for me is the deciding factor here. Then for Dortmund, it's actually a very funny one for Borussia Dortmund, as played against Atletico Madrid. Many persons were not seeing Dortmund going forward. They, for me, were not the stronger side, but they proved every doubter to say to be wrong. And Atletico Madrid brought in their A game.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid, they are like frequent participants up to this stage.
Thank you.
Compared to Dortmund.
So that's in a way, that's why I said most of these clubs that have tested victory at that level felt that they have everything under control. And these younger clubs that are coming, although have not been given the chance previously to prove themselves, they saw this and they believe this is all for us. We will go out against this club and we will deliver. They put in their mind, they brought in their A game, and we all saw what happened. But for me, I would want to say all of these bigger clubs, the likes of Man City, Arsenal, and Atletico Madrid. Okay, outside Atletico, let's say Man City and Arsenal, allowing aggregate to be the deciding factor was for me not good enough as against going out against a team, coming out with a straight win, and then you go ahead. That most fans will be so disappointed, sincerely.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Godwin. Mr. Comrade, 8 years, it took Arsenal 8 years to come again to the Champions League, and it took Arsenal only to the quarter-final to exit the Champions League. I know you as a Chelsea fan, and I wouldn't want to say you've been praying for Arsenal to win Bayern, because most Chelsea fans, when the lots were picked and Bayern was to play against Arsenal, most Chelsea fans were like, "Wow, yes, this is it. Arsenal is out." And now finally Arsenal is out. I want to know your view concerning Arsenal's performance at the Champions League after 8 years of drought.
Thank you, Mr. Raphael. It's very, very low. So on that, I think in football, yes, I think Jose Mourinho was the one that came up with that football heritage. And when you look at the game between Arsenal and Bayern Munich yesterday, you see a team that won the Champions League in recent times, a couple of times, and a team that do not have that experience at that level. What Arsenal needed yesterday was to take their football to the next level. Because at a point, they tried the test out, it was balanced. But I think they were still a little bit trying to be cautious. They were still a little bit trying to be scared. At that level, the mentality of the players, they could not rise above that semi-final mentality. So that's the truth. So the truth is that football heritage comes to play at certain levels. For instance, let's do a comparison between Man City and Real Madrid. For a very long time, Man City dominated that game. But because of the football heritage that Real Madrid has, the mentality, they were able to hang in there. They were able to rise up to the occasion. They were able to hold that game for 90 minutes and extra time, and they eventually won on penalties. So sometimes football heritage is everything. The Arsenal situation at a point in time as a Chelsea fan, it was also a problem with us.
Emphasis on as a Chelsea fan.
We struggled in 2008 when we met Man U at the finals. We struggled, but when we won our first Champions League, winning Champions League, winning international competitions became easier. So if Arsenal can raise their level and probably win the Champions League in 20-30 years time, probably they might have attained that football heritage that I'm talking about. Thank you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We want to leave the UEFA Champions League and now head down to the UEFA Europa League, and we have some futures coming up today at 8 o'clock. We have Roma against AC Milan, and we also have Olympique Marseille against Benfica. We have West Ham against Leverkusen, and then we have Atlanta against Liverpool. I'm going to stand by the sideline now and ask, do you think Liverpool will survive this outing this night, comrade?
Okay, I don't think Liverpool will survive that because the aggregate score is already too high. Are you getting it? And I think Liverpool made a mistake in the first leg by underrating Atlanta. When you hear of Atlanta, you think that it's a team that, let's say, it's a mid-level team in Italy, so they cannot do very well. But if you look at that Atlanta team, they have very, very decent players. You have the like of Kamaka, which is a very, very good striker. You have the likes of our own Lookman.
Yeah.
So I think the best Liverpool can get from today's game is a draw. So Atlanta is not a pushover. It's a very, very good thing that is underrated.
All right, so Godwin.
All right. For me, I would give it all for Liverpool.
Thank you.
Because yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that so much.
I'll give it all for Liverpool because so much is at stake, and given the fact that they never featured, a club like Liverpool never featured in Champions League and the rest, they have so much to prove to their fans. So whosoever club, I don't want to even know who they are meeting, but whosoever they are meeting, I want to believe, and I'm telling you, not because you're a Liverpool fan, that I'm very sure Liverpool will deliver.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. So straight down to the Premier League future for this weekend. We Arsenal redeemed themselves when they faced Wolves Saturday, 20th April by 7:30. Comrade.
Okay, I think Arsenal they have to really pick themselves up because they are factory now. The last two games they dropped points in their last fixture in the Premier League, and this is really a perfect time for them to redeem themselves. So against Wolves, I really see Arsenal coming out. So I think they will be angry. The mentality in the team will be anger, will be vengeful, will be vengeful. So they are going to come out and redeem themselves. So I see Arsenal winning that one. But to a very quick one, I think Mr. Ojiri said that Liverpool is going to win today's game. What I want to ask him is that will they be able to overturn a 3-0 aggregate score? That's the question about winning. It's about qualifying. So that's the question I want to ask you.
Yeah. So, Mr. Ojiri, I would have loved you to respond to that, but my director is whispering to me right away that I need to round up the show. So please, that question will be answered behind or afterwards. All right. So thank you, gentlemen, for being part of the show this morning. Thank you to my co-anchor.
Thank you, Mr. Ebuka.
Thank you, comrade Abraham, for joining us. All right. So viewers, be emphatic, be considerate, always be kind and respectful. People may forget what you give to them, but they won't lose the memory of how you made them feel. Thank you once more for joining us on the show this morning. Remember, the game never stops, and neither do we. So see you next time for more thrilling sports moments and breaking news. See you. Bye.